Hey everybody, Lars here. I just thought I'd hop on real quick and do an example program, just so that you could see a program get created from beginning to end. Something similar to assignment one, but not exactly assignment one. And then I have some other pre-written code I might show you that do some of the exercises from unit one. Just so you see, it is not going to be a good thing if I keep typing everything we do during these videos because it will take too long and it gets boring. For those of you keeping score at home, the Mets won. They beat Atlanta 5-1. They're now 8.5 games up on the Nationals in the National League East. So there's joy in Mudville tonight. All right, let's do some Python. I double-click my idle, and I get the interactive screen. But I want to grab a program. So I take a file and I put in my comments. And the first thing we're going to do is create a program that takes, why can't I make that capital? A pile of pennies, and tells us in that pile of pennies how many quarters we have, how many dimes we have, how many nickels we have, things along those lines. So let's get started. Pennies equals integer. I will cast the results of this input. Enter your pennies. Boom. Now we have pennies. How many quarters do we have? Okay, how do we find out how many quarters? We will take quarters, and that will be equal to pennies, integer division by 25. I believe that is it. So, print. Nice. Okay. Let's just run this and see what we get. So I want to save it first. I'll do save as. I'll call it change.py. And then I will hit F5 to run it. And over here in my interactive window, it says enter your pennies. So I will enter, something easy. It tells me I have 7 quarters. If I come here and I run it again, and I do $1.87, it still tells me 7 quarters. So we're not exactly super sophisticated yet. So how can we make this better? The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to update my pennies. And make pennies equal to pennies minus quarters times 25. So that little line right there is going to subtract the quarters I've already listed from my penny pile. So now, if I were to put in like the 187 that was over to the side, I would now be left with just the 12 pennies that are left. And we will actually take a look at that. And there you go. It just says 12. Because maybe it'd be nice if I put pennies down there. And there we go. So we have a quarter section. Let's add a dime section, but let's make our lives easier. Let's just highlight this. Control copy to copy. Control V to paste. Oh, that's wonderful. And now we just go to our quarters. Type dimes. We could do a find and replace here. But Let's just bang this out real quick. So you can see. Update my pennies, 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 pennies. Dimes, diomes. Okay, let's see what we have. Control S, F5, enter your pennies. I will stick with 187. And look at that. So now we have 1 dimes, 2 pennies. I know dimes is plural and it shouldn't be, but we'll worry about that some other time. All right, we're making progress. We are cooking with gas. So I do it again, only this time I'm going to do nickels. I think we'll do one thing to make this a little neater. 5. Alright, so now we should have nickels, but I'm not going to have it with that example, so what will help me out with a nickel? 5. And look at that, $1.91 at 7 quarters, 1 dime, 1 nickel, 1 penny. So that works for that pretty good. Let me think. What if I did 206? Okay, one thing I think we will do is fix that 0. Because 206, $2.06, I didn't do dollars, has 8 quarters, no dimes. If there are no dimes, maybe it shouldn't really show up. So I think we can do this. Let's look at quarters and say if quarters is not equal to 0, then print. So that way if quarters is 0, it won't print anything. Did I spell that right? Yes, I did. Same with the dimes. Same with the nickels. Do the same with the pennies. Okay. Now if we save and hit F5 and we do our 206 again, you'll see it does the listing, but it doesn't include the dimes because there were no dimes, and we tested. If dimes is not equal to 0, but in this case it was equal to 0, so we skipped this line and we didn't print the dimes out. And that's it for a change program. You can see over here $2.06, 8 quarters, a nickel, and a penny. Works. Up here, $1.91. You get 1 of each and 7 quarters. So that's similar to something you may have called assignment 1. Although in assignment 1 you don't have to subtract things out. I don't expect you to update things. Let me go really quick and grab some code that I already wrote. I'll say open. Let's see, I'll go to Unit 1 where I keep my code, and I called it exercises. And there we go. That I believe, let me go look. There we go. A few simple exercises. I think I just did number 1. I printed the square and the cube of that number. So if you run it, enter a number, eat. The square of 8 is 64, the cube is 512, just like that. Let's do another. Let's see. 2, I'll leave that for you guys. 3, negative or positive. Sometimes that freaks people out. I know some of you think that's outrageously easy, but other people are freaked out. These numbers are square, print cube. Alright, a program takes two numbers as input using a complex conditional, print winner if both numbers are greater than 1,000. Let's do that one. So write a program that takes two numbers as input. Let's do that first. Okay. Number 1 equals. I'm just going to do integers, not floating point. I know a couple of people ask questions about casting into floats. That's fine. Just make sure when you do that, you're giving it a float, because it's going to take that string and it's going to try to convert it. And if you don't have it in the proper format, it will blow up on you. I think there's a message in the forum that pertains to that. So be careful. Enter a number. Great. We're going to take this. And we're going to do that. So we now have two variables. Now, what did we want to do? Write a program that takes two numbers as input using a complex conditional. Print winner, exclamation point, if both numbers are greater than 1,000. All right, be careful when I wrote 1,000 there. We don't use commas. Commas are a no-no. So, let's see. If number 1 is greater than 1,000 and number 2 is greater than 1,000, colon, next line, indented for, print, open quote, winner. That's it. So let's see what we get. Control S, F5. Enter a number. Now remember, this is my first one, so I'll just give it 8 again. Enter a number. Let's succeed this time. I will give it 2,000, and I will give it 3,000. Yay, printed winner, because both are greater than 1,000. Now, let's fail. Failing is how we learn. 500, 2,000. I'll make one correct. Nothing happens. Nothing happens because that 500 fails that condition. And because with an AND, as a Boolean operator, both of these conditions need to be true in order to execute the subsequent block, in this case just one line. That fails and drops through. So we do not print winner because they are not both over 1,000. Let's go succeed again because everybody loves success. Oh, looks like I squared and cubed that. 2,000, 5,000. We get a winner again because both are over that. So right there, you can see up top here, I did one of the exercises. Here's another exercise. This is a good little format. I'll just call my program exercises and then do all the exercises in one program. It doesn't matter. They're toy programs meant to help you learn. So that's it. We did we looked at a couple exercises. I am over the weekend going to do a review video about conditionals and Booleans and if-then statements, just so we have a little review of that. That'll help you with assignment 2. Assignment 2 went up tonight. If you have any confusion over it, please send email or post something in the forums, and I'll be looking in there to make sure that you are okay. All right? I figure a lot of people are going to be doing a lot of stuff over this weekend to get caught up and to get going. Thank you very much for everybody putting in their bios. That was a great job. Almost everybody's in there. So that's it. This is just a quick little hit. I figured I'd show you some programming. I do a little programming, and you could see some of what we're talking about and thinking about in action. If you think about it, it's September 11th, and we have only been going for about 10 days, and look at what we just did. Look at the 2 programs we just did. There's some complicated stuff in there, and there's some, concepts that a lot of you weren't aware of just 10 days ago, and you're already understanding what's going on. I mean, look at the screen just here. You understand all of that, and somebody who's a novice would look at that, and just their head would spin. So keep going, keep doing what you're doing, and I will be back over the weekend with a review of some other stuff. All right? You guys have a good night. Bye-bye.